Hello everyone. Let's start with the basics of Python. So first thing we'll try to understand the kind of data type we have. In Python there are some fundamental data type, and of course each library can define their own data type, the way they want to interpret the data, they want to process the data. So of course first data type we have is the will open in the Colab, so we can also practice while we are doing it. So if you want to understand the variable type, sometime it's useful to know, what kind of, because when you write, we'll try it here. So it can be the number data type, like, we have in number, we have integer, we have float. So let's say we say a is equal to 5 and we can run it, and we can use type functions to figure out what kind of data type we have. I think I should run program. So you can see it's telling type integer. When I type some decimal, so now it prints, let's see what it will say. So now it's a float. Similarly, my 5 can be a string also, or a letter also. So when we define a string, we defined within the code. We'll go different kind of string which we can use. So let's define 5 within the string. Though output, if you see, still you can't differentiate if we have a string. Let's print A, let's print B. So what is happening when we print A and B, we are not able to find any difference. They both look same. But when we print their data type, we can see one is A is like class string and B is the class integer. So they may appear same when you print, but you cannot do computation mathematical things over the string. So that's why we need to know the different kind of data type. Then we have the float. We cannot use float for indexing purpose. So for indexing purpose, it has to be a integer. It can be complex type. In the last session also we used one complex number to do some mathematics. We can have strings where we can have single letter also, we can have multiple letter also. So like we are defining, my name is, let's say, I can say my name is Satkumar, and we run it. So it's printing the same string. Now let's try to write, we say what's your name. So when you say what's, we need to put apostrophe and we print it. So we are getting syntax error, and Python is also telling there is some issue where it's putting the cap symbol. So what is happening here? We have three single quote. Now if we have even number of quote, then it can interpret, within this is called a string. If we had only two quote, but three means Python is not able to figure out where our string is starting, where it's ending. So we cannot use apostrophe s in this way to define it. So in such cases, we can use the single quote. So what we are doing here, if you see here, to mark the beginning of a string and end of the string, we are using the double quote, and within this we can use single quote. So we can define a string with the single quote also, with the double quote also. If there is no apostrophe s, there is no single quote in the text, it does not really matter which one you use. So we can print here what's your name with the help of double string. Same thing also we can do, we can use the backslash. You see here there is no syntax error. We are using backslash, so Python understand how to interpret this single quote in a different way. So it's not the beginning or end of a string. So Python is treating it in a different way. So we could have used a single quote also to mark the beginning and ending of a string and define our apostrophe s in different way. So this backslash or this tilting line is for treating different symbol for new line, etc. Let's try to define a new string. We can give it any name, some text we can call it. and let's print it. So it's printing the second line. Let's say the second part of the string, I want to move it to a new line. So I can use this new line character, and now it's printing in the second line. Because there is a space after new line, I am seeing one space. So this I is not starting at the same location where my image is starting. So I can remove this space and I can see at the same line. So there are different special character which we use in Python when the things required. Similar to the double quote, we can use instead of using the new line symbol, we can use the triple quote also. So here my string is beginning, we have the triple, three times double quotes we are using. So here we can type as many text we want and it will print in the same way. Typically when we define the help part of a function, we use the triple string. We will go into it when we go, when we define our function and when we want to use help of it. So for in this session we discussed about how we can define the string types and how we can work with it. So thank you, then we'll meet in the next session.